Take on the Blue Jays. Miguel Cabrera is going to be back in the starting lineup today with the Tigers and feeling pretty good apparently.
He's got a new dance.
He does indeed, and the Tigers hopefully smiling and dancing at the end of this one. It'll be Ian Kinsler to get things started, facing Brett Anderson, and game 2 in the series is underway as Kinsler fouls it off 0-1.
Expect the Tigers to swing very early and often against Brett Anderson. This guy works awfully quick, and as a matter of fact, if you're some of the Tigers hitters, you're going to have to call timeout to slow him down today.
238 for Kinsler, 16 homers on the year. Number 16 was hit last night. It turned out to be the game winner, the difference at least in the game. Anderson missing high and away, 1 ball and 1 strike.
And as you pointed out last night, all 16 of Ian's home run this year of the solo variety, which is crazy.
It really is nuts. Now I realize that Kinsler is the leadoff man, so 6 of those came as a leadoff hitter to start a ball game, but still pretty wild stat. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Ian checks it foul. 2-2 on Kinsler. The rest of the Tigers lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Kinsler in that leadoff spot, followed by Candelario and then Cabrera, Castellanos, Hicks, and McCann in the middle of the lineup. And your bottom 3, Jones, Romine, Machado. There's a pop-up on the infield to the right side. Smoke is covering his eyes, and he'll make the catch, 1 gone. MGM Grand Detroit presents the starting pitcher, Brett Anderson.
And Brett Anderson making his 9th overall start, but only his 3rd start with his new team, the Toronto Blue Jays. Overall, a 6.42 ERA for the big left-hander. He's got a fastball that tops out at about 94 miles an hour. He also has a slider, curveball, and a changeup, and he uses all of them as far as a percentage-wise about evenly the off-speed pitches.
Here is Jeimer Candelario. He will step in now with 1 gone. Tigers originally had Mikey Matuk in the starting lineup, but a groin problem has made him a late scratch. So Candelario bumped up to the 2 spot.
Yeah, he was batting 7th in the original lineup that Brett Ausmus gave us today.
The 1-0. Sliced fair down the right field line. That's going to be a base hit for Candelario. He continues to go foul line to foul line, a 1-out single.
Let's take a look at the Toronto Blue Jays starting defense. It is brought to you by Tim Hortons. Left to right, there you go. Hernandez, Pilar, Bautista. 3rd to 1st, Barney, Arena, Goins, Smoke, and Maley is the starting catcher here this afternoon.
Roof is open here at Rogers Center. Therefore, a lot of sunshine on the field today. And here is Miguel Cabrera, who is getting his first at bat since September the 1st. He served his suspension for that fight that he was involved in with the Yankees. And Miggy looks at a strike, 0-1.
I don't know if it's going to translate into the success he has in the game today, but Miguel Cabrera during batting practice today was hitting the ball extremely hard, hitting the ball to all fields as well. Had a great batting practice.
He was putting on a show.
He sure was.
Hitting the ball to the upper decks. There's a ball high, and the count 1-1 on Miggy.
Anderson gets lots of swings and misses on his fastball upstairs. That's one of the things the Tigers will have to guard against today. They know the scouting report on Brett. He likes to go upstairs, especially after he's gotten ahead of you with that 4-seam fastball.
1-1 is a strike called right at the bottom of the zone. 1-2 on Cabrera.
You really cannot make a better pitch than that if you're Anderson. And Miggy wisely, he took that pitch because had he swung at it, he probably would have grounded to the shortstop for a 6-4-3 double play.
2-2 the count. Cabrera, prior to serving that suspension, was 0 for his previous 15, so he's trying to break that slump here today.
And pretty much every pitch that Anderson has thrown to Miguel, it's been 4 of them. All of them, for the most part, have been on the outside part of the plate to Miggy.
Fouled away. That one stayed away in the outside part of the strike zone. 2-2 on Cabrera. Regardless of the year that Miguel has had this year, and it certainly has been subpar based on his standards, he is still that presence in the middle that the Tigers had missed the last week. Now Anderson again with a 2-2, and it's driven in the air to left field. That ball is going up, and that ball is gone. It's a home run for Miguel Cabrera. A 2-run shot in his first at bat back, and the Tigers have an early lead. Number 15 for Miguel.
We're going to make that our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. Brett Anderson, for the most part, everything away from Miguel Cabrera. Lots of two-seam fastballs that were down. Did not get a chance to do much against him. Here's that pitch by pitch. Everything away from Miguel Cabrera. Finally, on the 5th pitch, he hung Miguel a breaking ball. Miguel missed that breaking ball right there. Came back with a high fastball, and he shot at 92 miles an hour.
Little tapper back to the mound. Anderson will handle this, and Castellanos is out. There are 2 gone.
We talked about Anderson and the fact that he tries to get a lot of the right-handed batters to chase the fastball upstairs, and he's been very successful doing so, but he wasn't successful here against Mickey. That's a 4-seam fastball, 92 at the top of the strike zone, and look at McGill get on top of it and hit that line drive out to left field. Where's that swing been, partner?
Well, the Tigers have certainly missed it, and I think Miguel has missed it all year. Now, if you were not with us and picked a stick in our pregame segments, I notified the folks at home that my selection was to be Miguel Cabrera, but I was talked out of that, and though I still am going to stick with Nicholas Castellanos. Guess who picked up the scraps?
Do you know who picked up the scraps?
With Miguel Cabrera, the guy sitting to my right.
I'll pick up the crumbs. I see you, big fella.
A 2-run shot for Miguel.
I see you.
That'll go in Rod's side of the ledger instead of mine. That's all right. Tigers lead by a pair.
Kind of noticing a pattern here with Anderson, and I think the Tigers will recognize it as well. Everything away, especially to the right-handers. And most of the hitters in the lineup today do bat right-handed.
2-2 on John Hicks. .312 this season for Hicks. He's had a really fine year as a backup for the Tigers.
You know, we were having a nice conversation with Brad yesterday. We were talking about spring training and also the month of September, how it's very difficult to really gauge how good a young player is going to be. But in Hicks's case, he's been up here several times, and he's pretty much shown in the months June, July, and August that he's a pretty good player. So I don't think he falls into that category of really trying to evaluate him in the month of September.
Let's see, a .340 batting average in the month of August. So you're right. I mean, Hicks has done it really all season long. And down he goes, a swing and a miss. That'll end the inning. However, Tigers jump on top. Big fella's back in the lineup with a 2-run shot. And the Tigers have a 2-0 lead. There's a 2-0 lead early in this one as we go to the bottom of the first inning, and Chad Bell is on the hill for the Tigers, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Bell got his first major league start 5 days ago against that red-hot Cleveland Indians team and got a loss in that game. Overall, he's pitched mostly out of the bullpen. He's pitched very well this season for the Tigers out of that bullpen in a variety of different roles for Brad.
Got an early lead to work with now as Richard Arena steps in for the Blue Jays.
Bell's got all 4 pitches. The fastball tops out at 95. He loves the slider. He'll also spin a curveball up there as well, and he'll fade a changeup away from the right-handed batters.
2-0 on Arena, who was 2 out of 3 last night with a home run.
Urania made a spectacular play at shortstop too. He's only 21 years old, buddy.
21 years old, playing short at the big league level, filling in for Troy Tulowitzki, who's done for the year. That home run that he hit last night was his first career home run.
He went the opposite way too with that home run.
And he's just taken himself a 4-pitch walk to get things rolling here in the bottom.
Not a good start for Chad Bell after his team has given him 2 runs.
Starting lineup now for the Jays, presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. You saw Arena. Now here is Bautista stepping in. Smoke will follow. Then you got Morales, Pilar, and Hernandez in the middle of the lineup. And then Barney, Goins, and Maley in the bottom 3 spots for John Gibbons. Bautista, be careful here. He has crushed Tigers pitching in his career. Big night last night as well. And he'll take strike 1 in the outer edge.
Chad looking for a ground ball off the bat of Bautista. He has grounded into 16 double plays this year. Batting average at .208, but he's hit 22 homers.
Really has not done well since the All-Star break this year. Just 164. That'll back him out of there.
That's the way they're going to pitch Bautista in the series. We watched Buck Farmer in last night's game go inside against Bautista real early in the game. They didn't continue that pattern throughout the game, but they started out pitching him aggressively in.
Ground ball left side. Candelario has it, fires to second, one, related first. Is not in time.
What a tricky hot play down there by Candelario.
Did you see that feed to second? Nifty play by Jamer.
This is what you have to do at third base. You have to have quick feet, and you have to be able to back up as quickly as he was able to back up here, and also do it athletically. And the adjustment he made with his glove was incredible. And you're right about that feed, buddy. He threw one down from that angle last night to start that triple play, which was spectacular.
Thought he was out at first base, but the Tigers will not challenge. Close bang play, at least from the naked eye. I thought he was out. They will face Smoke now.
He got that ground ball, but it was tough to turn over with Bautista running down the line. They almost got him though.
Smoke looks at ball 1. Well, we've had a chance to see Candelario now for about a handful of games, and I think I'm liking what I see at third base.
He is starting to look more and more comfortable, which each game he plays at third base. He knows he's going to play every day.
Drilled toward right center field. That ball sinking. Jones on the run. Jacoby runs it down. They might get a double play. The throwback is off target, and Bautista's able to get back.
Jacoby Jones with a spectacular play in center field. You know he is out there, and you got Romine in left. Castellanos is playing right for the 2nd consecutive night. You've got Candelario, Machado, Ian Kinsler, and the big fella Miguel Cabrera back in there. He's at first base, and James McCann, your everyday catcher, and behind the dish again this afternoon. That's a nice play by the kid Jacoby Jones. He ran a long way to run that ball down in the right center field gap.
He can really cover some ground, which really is the reason why the Tigers want to see him grab hold of that center field position, because of his ability to cover all that acreage at Comerica Park.
Just let him play every day. Right-handers, left-handers, hard throwers, soft tossers. And roll him out there. See what he can do.
Morales sends a ground ball to the right side and beats the shift. Bautista hits the bag. He's going to third. And Castellanos' throw is cut off. And now the Jays have runners at the corners.
It's a nice job here by Morales. I mean, there are times where guys will go for home runs, but in this particular situation, I mean, you got that huge hole on the right side of the infield because they vacated that side. Only Miguel at first base, and he simply takes that little two-seam fastball and hits it right where Ian Kinsler is normally standing.
Here's Kevin Pillar now with 2 outs.
And be careful on first pitch fastballs to Pillar.
Pillar last night hit a rocket down the third base line with 2 men on. It appeared it was going to be a double down the line, but Candelario started the triple play. First one the Tigers have turned since the 2001 campaign.
There have been 7 triple plays turned this year in the major leagues.
You know, I heard that stat and I really could not believe it. When you think about it, Rod, I'm wondering why there aren't more triple plays turned, especially the one that was hit last night, but ball hit right to the bag.
Right. That's really the only way you can get one. I mean, obviously, unless you've got runners on the move, less than 2 out to, well, nobody out, and you hit a line drive. Now, you can usually get one that way.
0-2 on Pillar with runners at first and third. And we'll back him out of there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pillar was 0 for 4 in the ball game last night. 2 out risk, not very good. 175 for the year. Outside, 2-2. Umpiring crew, it's Chad Fairchild behind the dish, Ortiz, Danley, and the crew chief Marquez rounding out the 4-man crew. Here's the 2-2. And it missed inside, knocked down by McCann. 3-2 now. That means Morales will be on the move here with 2 outs. Chad Bell has been used to throwing multiple innings. In fact, out of the bullpen this year, he's gone 3 or more innings 5 times. But now in a starting role with the Tigers. Injuries to the Tigers rotation for Zim and Fulmer, and JV traded away. Runner goes from first and a bouncing ball foul.
And Pillar helped out Chad Bell with that last pitch. That would have been ball 4.
Morales back to first base. Tigers lead 2-0 on the homer by Cabrera. Roof open on a beautiful day here. A great day for baseball in Toronto. And a good crowd. 63 degrees and clear.
Yeah, they say there'll be 40,000 people here today.
Another bouncer foul right off the end of the bat. Tigers playing a 3-game series here in Minnesota to take on the Indians, who, by the way, won again today.
Did they really? That's 17 in a row?
It sure is.
Oh, my goodness.
That's what's waiting for the Tigers after this series is complete.
How do you win 17 games in a row?
I was asking that same question. Highly unlikely, but the Indians have done it. And Pillar fouls off another sail-eye. Everything away with a 3-ball count, and he continues to flail away.
The Astros have gotten, the Cleveland Indians have gotten so hot is that they're just 1 game behind the Houston Astros for the best record in the American League, and they may have just caught them with the 86 wins.
That, of course, makes a difference in the playoff seeding.
For sure.
Pillar fights another one off, this time in on his hands.
Bell has thrown Pillar everything but the kitchen sink, and for the most part, everything has been down in the strike zone to Pillar.
Jays 5.23.
And apparently they do a pretty nice job with 2 strikes, fouling off pitches, extending the at-bat.
There's a drive up the middle into center field, a base hit. That'll get a run in. Morales lumbering to third base, and after a lengthy at-bat, Kevin Pillar puts the Blue Jays on the board. 2-out RBI single.
Pretty good at-bat by Pillar. He saw several pitches, and then Bell finally came back with a changeup. You saw it roll off the fingertips, but it didn't fade down and away from Pillar. It stayed up in the strike zone, and it allowed him to get to it and scald that ball right past Dixon Machado, the shortstop.
10-pitch at bat for Pillar. Here is Hernandez now with runners at first and third. 1 for 3 in the ball game last night. Knocked in a run. Ball 1 missing low to Teoscar Hernandez.
If you weren't with us last night, we told you that Hernandez was acquired at the trade deadline from the Houston Astros. He's a late bloomer. He's a kid that really didn't play a lot of baseball in Dominican Republic growing up. He played more volleyball and more basketball. He didn't start playing baseball until he was a teenager. Kind of reminds me of Lorenzo Cain, the kid that we just saw a couple of days ago. Didn't start playing high school baseball until his junior year.
I think a lot of the kids from the Latin countries like the Dominican or even Puerto Rico, they grow up playing a lot of volleyball, a lot of basketball, different sports.
Lots of soccer too.
1 ball, 1 strike on Hernandez, who was acquired for Liriano, who joined the Houston bullpen. And Pillar, who is a threat to run, draws the throw. John Gibbons, the skipper of the Jays, back at the helm last night. He was gone for about a week, tending to personal business. 10 years now as a skipper here in Toronto. 1-2 on Hernandez. A lot of first inning pitches now for both starters. Anderson threw 21 in the top of the first, and now 24 for Bell. The 1-2. Did he go? Did not. Ortiz, the umpire at first, said he held up.
Bell is going to have to do a better job of attacking the strike zone here, especially after his team has gotten him 2 runs in the first. He's thrown 25. He's missed the strike zone with 11 of those, but he's got a fastball that gets up to 95. He's got a usable slider, curveball, and changeup. Just needs to pitch to a little bit more contact.
Fouled away. Well, if you get to 3-2, you allow a Pillar to be on the move from first base. And he's got some speed. A gapper would score him easily. Each team with a couple of hits early. Miguel Cabrera, a 2-run shot on the top of the inning. Bell's first start in his last start for the Tigers was Sunday against Cleveland. Lasted 4 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs. That was an 11-1 loss for the Tigers.
That Cleveland Indians team rolling,
beating up on everybody.
That's right.
Here's the 2-2. Low, ball 3, and now that means Pillar will indeed be on the move. And that's going to bring McCann out to the mound to try and give Bell a breather here. not exactly the start that Brad was hoping for. The Tigers really haven't gotten a whole lot of length out of the rotation ever since Verlander was traded away.
And really already some stirring in that Tigers bullpen. Guys starting to get up, guys starting to loosen up here in the very first inning. Usually guys aren't moving in the bullpen, but Bell's had some difficulty here in the first.
Cabrera will play behind the runner at first base.
If he misses with this pitch, Doobie will have to go out and talk to him.
And he got him, strike 3. Close pitch. Hernandez out of there. That'll retire the side, and the damage is kept to 1 run. 2-1 ball game. Go to the top of the second here in Toronto. Last swing before the ring. How about that? How about that?
Yeah.
James McCann stepping in, Bernstein advantage, and Mack this year against lefties batting a cool .330. Not bad. And he'll get things started here in the second. McCann, Jones, Romine facing the lefty Brett Anderson, who delivers a strike.
Yeah, you watch Anderson in that very first inning. Every single right-hander, for the most part, he attacked them away. And with good two-seam fastballs.
Anderson gave up a single to Candelario and a 2-run homer to Cabrera to give the Tigers a swift lead here this afternoon. McCann 1 for 4 last night. A little bit outside, 1-1.
Anderson originally drafted by the Arizona Diamondbacks, but traded to the Oakland Athletics very young in his career. That's where he got his big league debut and pitched well for the Oakland Athletics early in his career.
Bouncer to the second baseman Goins, who throws down McCann, 1 gone. By the way, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, simply bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow, and you'll get a free small order of curly fries. And by my count, Rod, we need 2 more.
2 more. Miguel's going to hit another one today.
Oh, if he does, man, I'm going to jump out of this booth. There's a swing and a foul tip at home plate by Jacoby Jones. Jones with a couple of home runs against KC on Tuesday. This is his 4th stint with the big club, and a wave and a miss.
Anderson's going to go upstairs with that high fastball, and Jacoby Jones is going to have to lay off of it. It's the same pitch that Miguel Cabrera hit out of the ballpark. It was at 92 miles an hour. Went breaking ball downstairs first of all. We'll see if he goes upstairs now.
You know, I like what you said about Jacoby last half inning about how just let this guy go play, man. See what he can do.
Let him play. Righties, lefties, really doesn't matter.
chopper right back toward the mound. Anderson has to hurry. Got him by a step.
Nice job by Anderson jumping off the mound. He's a big fella, big burly guy. Able to come off that mound and make a nice play to get the speedy Jacoby Jones. Took his time. Four-seam fastball to Justin Smoke, the first baseman.
Two up, two down. Romine, a late addition to the Tigers lineup with the injury to Matuk. A groin has kept him out of the game today.
Andrew Romine with 269 at-bats this year. I would assume, without looking, that that's the most that Romine has ever played in a big league season.
Yeah, I haven't seen it or looked it up either, but yeah, I've got to believe it is. Matuk with the sweatshirt on today, watching the proceedings. And really, it's not just the at-bats, but it's the amount of positions he has played. This will be his 10th start today in left field. We're used to seeing Romine play a lot of the infield positions. And that one just missed.
He's played some center field. He's played some right. Of course, he's got some reps at second, short, and third.
Full count, 3-2.
And previous high as far as at bats in a season for Andrew Romine, 251. So indeed, and 269, a career high. Some guys putting together some lengthy at bats today against these two lefties.
Anderson had a 21 pitch first, and Chad Bell went 28 pitches in the first. Another foul back out of play, and Romine continues to hand out souvenirs.
Anderson's life would be a little bit easier here today if he would just show a Tiger or two a fastball inside, but he has not done that to most of these guys. We continue to talk about where he's pitching everybody, and even Andrew Romine. Everything away, away, away.
And he finally got him on strikes. Maley will throw down to complete the strikeout. It'll be a 1-2-3 inning second punch out of the game for Anderson. To be able to provide disaster relief immediately, help people affected by Hurricanes Harvey and Irma by visiting redcross.org or texting the word Red Cross to 90999 to make a $10 donation. 2-1 ball game as we go to the bottom of the second here at Rogers Center.
I guess they really don't know which way Irma's going to go, do they, down in Florida?
Every half hour I hear different reports on which way it's going. But I do know this: the entire state of Florida is going to get hit it somehow at some point. That's in the shallow right field. Little bloop base hit for Darwin Barney.
Not an easy time to be a weatherman in this country, not trying to deal with where Irma's going.
And then, from what I understand, there's Jose right behind Irma.
Right.
So certainly our thoughts to all of our friends in Florida.
Not only that, but a lot of players on the Blue Jays side and a lot of players on the Tigers side as well live down in Florida. Guys have houses down there. Guys have families down in Florida. I mean, on both clubhouses, the news was on today. Not so much college football.
Yeah. Well, here is Ryan Goins now, who has a career-high 51 RBIs this year. 6 homers, also a career high for Goins. Tigers expecting a bunt. Cabrera came in on the infield turf, and even with the bag at third was Candelario. .1-0 is swung on and missed. 1-1.
Outstanding pitch here thrown by Bell. I mean, he gave you a fast arm. It looked like a fastball coming out of his hand, and it was a breaking ball and a beauty. I mean, he had Goins out in front of that. Good breaking ball.
In there, a strike call.
Chad Bell only 4 of 9. And through the starting lineup of the Blue Jays, as far as first pitch strikes are concerned. First time through the lineup. Like to see him get better than that.
Goins 1 for 4 in the ball game last night as Barney draws a throw. Chad Bell attended Walters State Community College in Tennessee. He's from Knoxville. That's where he was born. 28 years old. Runner bluffs and a swing and a foul. Just got a piece of it.
Partner, do you know on the way to the ballpark today, I came on the second bus today, which left the hotel at 1 o'clock, and we had a police escort to the ballpark today.
Why?
I was still trying to figure that out. I mean, it took us 8 minutes to get here. I mean, we had 3 police officers on motorcycles, and they rode us all the way to the ballpark today.
Well, the film festival's going on here, and we crossed some long lines on the first bus, but we didn't get a police escort like you guys did.
Well, they must have thought I was Denzel or somebody getting on the bus today, so they just said we may need to get an escort.
No, I don't think that was it, Rob.
They say, is that Denzel?
How many people were on the bus?
It was 4 of us. Me, Jim Price, Dan Dickerson, and Brian Britton.
Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down, tag, not in time. A swipe tag there by Machado, but he missed him. Barney now 7th steal of the year.
Oh yeah, Chad Bell was on the bus too.
Okay, we'll count him. That's kind of important.
Oh, he almost got him on that foot.
Let's see here. Oh, he's out.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, they're going to look at this.
I thought maybe he got him on the foot, but he didn't get him on the foot. He got him on that hamstring.
Good tag there by Machado, and you can tell immediately after that play was called that he felt he got it. Here's another really good look. Yeah, he's out.
It's not going to take long.
This might be the quickest replay ever.
Yeah, they already have the call. That's Kerwin Danley, and second base umpire with the initial safe call.
Cam's throw is a little bit off target, but still very strong and a good tag. That came in at almost 29%. They've made their decision, and he's out. So a caught stealing. And just like that, they're empty now with 2 away. bring up Luke Maile in the 9 spot. Maile comes in batting just 110, and when you look at the Jays catchers, they are dead last in Major League Baseball with a 175 average entering today.
And they've got some pretty good catchers, some guys with some pretty good numbers on the backs of their baseball cards. Miguel Montero, they have Russell Martin.
Martin currently on the disabled list with an oblique. That's drilled to left field, out of line, and diving out there on the left is Romine. What a spectacular play! Romine, getting the late start in this game, provides a sterling play in left.
He may have gotten a late start in the game, but he got a great jump on this ball, and he took a double away from Maile.
Here in the 3rd for the Tigers as the Indians continue to just absolutely roll on, and they got one more against the O's, and then we come to town there.
Well, we'll take care of that when we get there if the O's don't take care of it.
Keep that streak going. We'll bust it up. Machado sends a slow roller toward 3rd on the charge there. Bottling Barney has no play. Infield hit for Dixon.
Want to go back to that last play that Romine made in left field. I mean, a ball that's slicing away from you in left field off the bat of a right-hander. Really nice play by Andrew Romine. He gets a great jump on this ball and takes a beeline to the left field line, stretches out, and makes a really good play. You can't make a better play than that in left field.
You know, when we say Brad Ausmus will literally put Romine in any position and be confident he can handle it, we mean any position. Another start in left today, and he robs Maile of an extra base hit. Here is Ian Kinsler. He looks at a ball outside, 1-0.
Yeah, good fastball count here for Ian Kinsler. Anderson loves his fastball, although most of those have been two-seamers down and away from the right-handed bats. It's a good idea by Ian Kinsler. And Darwin Barney at 3rd base was playing about 5 steps in back of that 3rd base bag.
We haven't seen Ian do that in a long time.
It's been a minute since he's dropped a bunt down for a base hit.
Kinsler popped up to start the game, 0 for 1. The Jays are without Donaldson, their starting third baseman, who is a terrific defender. He's had flu-like symptoms yesterday and today. Don't know if he'll play tomorrow, but they have missed his bat.
He's had a tough year too. A lot of injuries for Donaldson this season. Former most valuable player.
Donaldson out right now. Tulowitzki out for the year with an ankle. Russell Martin the oblique. Devin Travis as well, their second baseman, is on the DL.
I was talking to Brooke Jacoby, their hitting coach, before the game today when the Jays were taking batting practice, and he told me point blank they really miss Devin Travis. He said Devin Travis can hit. Here's Brooke.
Knee problem keeping the former Tiger farmhand Travis out of their lineup. There's a strike on the outer edge. 2-2.
Dixon Machado better be careful over at first base. I mean, he was jockeying off the bag at about 15 feet on first base, and Anderson could easily pick him off.
I was thinking the same thing. He's done that in a couple of pitches now. There's a ball high. 3-2.
I don't know if you send Dixon Machado here or not, especially with Candelario coming up and Miggy also coming up, but we'll see. And what Brad's thinking, whether he starts him with nobody out in the 3-2 count to his leadoff hitter, Ian Kinsler.
Driven to right field on a line slicing. It'll be caught out there by Bautista, and Machado retreats. Let's check in with Johnny Kane.
Yeah, guys, certainly last week it was Hurricane Harvey. This week Hurricane Irma, and still on the way will be Jose. And the city of Montreal actually reached out to Major League Baseball again this week, volunteering its services to host the series between the Tampa Bay Rays and the New York Yankees. Now, Major League Baseball decided not to go that direction. They also considered Baltimore as a neutral site to play that game, but ultimately opted to play this series at Citi Field in New York. Part of the reason that went into that is because of hotel availability. Obviously, with the game being played between the Yankees and Rays in New York, you only have to get hotels for one team, that being the Tampa Bay Rays. But if you remember, Montreal also reached out last week during Hurricane Harvey to offer its services to host the series between the Rangers and Astros, but Major League Baseball opted to not go that route. Instead, ironically, that series was played in Tampa. Guys?
Yeah, ironically, because now Tampa needs a place to play, and that's just the way it has gone here weather-wise this year. Another fly ball to right field. Bautista coming over, and he'll handle that one as well. 2 gone.
If Major League Baseball wants to give somebody else a team, or somebody else wants to go anywhere else, I'm all for them going to Montreal.
You know, I have not heard anybody say a bad thing about Montreal.
Oh my goodness.
As a stop in Major League Baseball. When they were in the MLB, man, people just raved going there.
What a great stop that was. I mean, just great restaurants and just great people. It was fun going to Montreal.
Well, your vote is duly noted. We'll send that to the commissioner's office. See if
you got him on speed dial, don't you?
I do. Manfred, there it is. Here is Cabrera now with 2 outs. And Miggy looks at ball 1. So while Cabrera does, after missing a handful of games, hadn't played since September 1st, his homer in his first at bat back.
He just looked like he was going to do something today. A lot of times, as we were talking during his at bat, he had a wonderful batting practice, and sometimes you wonder whether it will translate into the game. And for Miggy, it did translate into the game in his first at bat.
I wonder as well, as you look at the most home runs in Major League history, Cabrera now 461. I wonder how much the days off, the week off, has helped him in terms of his back, which has been an issue throughout most of the year.
It's helped him in a couple different ways, Mario. The point that you just made is a valid point, but it also helps you too as a player. I mean, he's had the game taken away from him for a week.
Right.
I mean, the game that he just loves to play.
Ooh, look out, that was just foul. Hey, stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we'll be selecting the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game. It's presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites, now being served all day. Two and 2 on Miguel. The home run, by the way, snapped it 0 for 15 for Cabrera. Swing and a miss. Down goes Cabrera, and that'll be it for the Tigers here in the third. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Time now for the Unlimited Baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile. Well, we told you earlier the Indians are up to 17 straight now.
Ridiculous.
How about Jose Reyes? 9 career multi-homer games from the leadoff spot, tying Kinsler.
Jose's had a nice career.
He really has.
I think this young man sitting in the batter's box kind of patterned his game after Reyes. They both wear the same number, kind of has some of the same mannerisms as Reyes while standing in that batter's box. Both switch hitters.
Slice to right field, base hit. Richard Urena. So he's on for the second time in this game.
He hit a homer last night. The homer came batting left-handed. He hit that ball to left field. He takes this breaking ball right here and stays with it nicely and slices that ball the opposite way. Doesn't it look like a little Jose Reyes to you?
You know, until you said that, it didn't register, but I absolutely agree. And as we mentioned, only 21 years of age, so good looking prospect.
Had a good year in Double-A. Drove in 60.
Another one of those guys that has a chance to raise his stock in September. Here's Bautista. Reaching on the fielder's choice, scoring a run on a single by Pilar in the first. Bautista, low batting average, but still has that thunderous power. Ball outside, 1-1.
Bautista was one of those outfielders last year that was a free agent that really didn't find a whole lot of takers out there. I mean, there were guys like himself, Mark Trumbo, not a lot of power hitters, guys that did not get jobs early. Chris Carter.
Down the right field line, slicing, and Mickey lumbering over there will not get there. It's in the seats. Menards brings you the big money encounter, highest OPS against Detroit righties since 1913. There's Mr. Bautista right behind, of all people, Shane Mack.
A lot of people don't really remember Shane Mack. Shane Mack didn't play in the big leagues that long, but apparently did some nice work against Tigers.
Well, he's on a list with Jimmy Fox, Mark McGwire, and A-Rod. 1-2 on Bautista, and drawing a throw. Urena's back. Chad Bell gave up a run in the first, a leadoff single, no damage in the second, and now a leadoff single here in the third.
And told you last time that Joey was up. He grounds into a lot of double plays. And
a foul tip right into the glove of James McCann.
Nice fastball up top there that tied up Bautista. They've been pitching him inside mostly. He's the only one that they will try to go inside on, and you can see they tied him up with that fastball. Good location on that heater by Chad.
Third strikeout for Bell. That'll bring up Justin Smoak. Bautista's starting to rack up the strikeouts now. There's a strike call. 149, a career high for Bautista. Smoak had a fly ball to center in the first.
Justin Smoak batting .373 right-handed this year, so he has no problem hitting left-handers. Much more power batting from the left side, but his batting average is way up there against lefties.
Third in the American League with 37 homers overall, 7 homers versus lefties.
OPS over 1,000.
One ball, one strike.
He couldn't have picked to have a better year the year before he hits the free agent market, though, right?
Pretty good timing. It's one of the unique features here, the hotel, which is attached to Rogers Center, so you get a room up there and you can watch a ball game as well. Two balls and one strike on Smoak. Ground ball to third. Candelario. He'll go to second for one. And a double play.
Candelario was so accurate with that feed, going underneath Ian Kinsler to start the double play.
5-4-3 twin killing. Candelario starts another one. He's been really good at third. Toronto and Chevy's most dependable players. Nick Castellanos, 727 slugging percentage career with the bases loaded, which among actives is right there with some other pretty good players.
That's clutch. Anytime you get your name on the same graphic as Yoenis Cespedes and Manny Machado and Mike Trout, you're doing something.
And Nick has been doing something. He had a grand slam in last night's game. Look at a ball outside. Third grand slam in Nick's career. 21st home run of the year. So with every home run that Castellanos hits, he continues to add to his career high. It'll miss low. 2 balls and 1 strike.
The majority of the 21 homers that Nicholas has hit this year have gone the opposite way or to center field. He doesn't pull the baseball that often, especially fastballs. He will pull a breaking ball.
There's a base hit to left field. Off the end of the bat, it's a leadoff single for Castellanos. It'll make it a 6-game hitting streak now for Nick.
There's that fastball upstairs again, thrown by Anderson at 90 miles an hour. He's not getting the swings and misses against that fastball today that he normally gets. That's that same pitch Miguel Cabrera hit out of the ballpark to give the Tigers a lead in the 1st inning. And Nicholas Castellanos just continues to get it done.
John Hicks showing bunt, pops it up. And he'll get behind home plate. 0-1. Hicks struck out in the 1st. Brett Anderson has always been an intriguing talent, but he just has not been able to stay healthy.
Yeah, he's been on the disabled list, man, probably more than any pitcher in his era.
Nice play. It's short by Arena to 2nd one and double play.
It's a nice play there. I really like Arena. We've talked about him, but once he made this play, because the ball got to him so quickly, he really had to take his time before the second baseman got to the bag. And then once Goins got there, he gave him a really nice feed, and then Goins had plenty of time to turn it over.
Two gone now for McCann. James 0 for 1 with the ground out. We're talking about Anderson being oft injured. 10 times he's been on the DL since 2010.
Right?
10 times.
Lots of different injuries, too. An assortment of different injuries. Shoulder, elbow, back, you name it.
Yeah, the latest was a bulging disc in his low back, and that really slowed down his progress. He was with the Cubs, didn't pitch well early on in the season with Chicago, and then was let go and picked up by Toronto. Swing and a miss.
His dad was an outstanding baseball coach. I believe his dad coached at Oklahoma State.
He did
for years. Brett was going to Oklahoma State before signing a contract out of high school with the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Looked like he went. Yes. Big kid, 6'4", 230, out of Midland, Texas, 29 years of age. The 2-2 is lifted in the air to right field. It'll be Bautista backing up, and it's going to be the final out of the inning. No runs, a single, nobody left. On our way to the bottom of the 4th. Ticket holders, renew your season tickets now through October 6th to be eligible for our 30 prizes in 30 days raffle and a chance to win once-in-a-lifetime fan experiences. Go to tigers.com/seasons to renew today. Big crowd on hand here in Toronto this afternoon. Game 2 in this series featuring the Tigers and the Jays. Tigers have a 2-1 lead on the strength of a Miguel Cabrera first inning homer. Kendrys Morales will lead things off for the Jays. And Morales looks at a strike, 0-1. Singled back in the first, 1-for-1 for Morales, 2 hits in the series. And Bell missing outside.
Morales with 27 home runs as a switch hitter, and Justin Smoke, the first baseman, with 37. That's 64. And they are just 4 home runs shy of setting an all-time record for 2 switch hitters on a team. And that record set by Mark Teixeira and Swisher of the Yankees a few years back.
Swing and a miss.
They got a legitimate shot of doing that, don't they?
Well, I'd say so.
4 homers between the 2 the remainder of the season.
I think they'll blow by that. Last year, Morales hit 30 home runs with the Royals. And the ball low and away.
Royals don't win that world championship a couple of years ago, if not for Morales. He really turned that team around. It was a good defensive team. They had some good base running, but once they put his bat right in the middle of that order, they just took off.
I mean, he's got himself a leadoff walk. They signed him after they let go Billy Butler, right?
Correct.
Royals, yeah. And he really provided a big punch for them offensively.
And the key for Dayton Moore when he signed Morales was coming off just a horrible season between Minnesota and Seattle. 2 stops that year, and Dayton Moore still signed him, and it paid huge dividends for Kansas City.
Kevin Pillar had a whale of an at-bat in the first inning, which resulted in a single to drive in a run. Here's a strike, 0-1.
It was a 10-pitch at-bat, and turned in by Kevin.
A boatload of foul balls. Then he finally got Bell with the base hit up the middle. That scored Bautista. Driven to left field, down the line, hooking and foul.
Man, I hope that didn't hit anybody down there. My goodness.
It was a long ways away, but it was coming in hot.
And then somebody reached up with the glove and he whiffed on it, and the people behind him just happy they didn't get hit. They're talking about it. And the big guy there with the glasses on with that big old glove, he missed it.
Trying to hide too. Yeah, man, I meant to miss it.
How did he miss it with that big old glove? You see how big that glove was?
Little chopper off the glove. That could have been perhaps a double play, but he was knocked out by Bell.
It would have at least been 1 out for sure.
They probably get the force. Maybe that's it, but still.
And the way the Tigers have been turning 2, it might have been a double play. I mean, that ball hit it right toward the shortstop, Dixon Machado.
Infield hit for Pillar. Two on now, nobody out.
And we told you that Hernandez has a lot of athleticism, has a lot of speed. It would not shock me here with nobody out if he was up there in a situation where he was trying to move the runners up with a sac bunt. He may not get the sign from the manager, John Gibbons, but he might just do it on his own.
Hernandez struck out to end the first inning.
Jamer at third base was anticipating that he might bunt. He is still standing on the cut of the turf. I was getting ready to say grass, but this is artificial surface here. Looks like grass, though.
Sure does. A lot spongier than the old turf they had here.
And we saw that last night. A couple of balls almost bounced over Monta and Castellanos' head in the outfield.
Remember the turf they used to have at Three Rivers and Riverfront and
Kansas City
and St. Louis.
Yes, indeed.
Basically cement.
Hard as a rock.
Montreal as well.
It's a nice little quick visit there by the, I guess you could call him veteran catcher now.
Yeah, sure
James
is.
McCann, yeah. It's been there long enough.
2-0 on Hernandez with 2 on and nobody out. Low ball 3. Bell digging a bit of a hole here. Little chopper right side of the infield. This might be 2 again. There's 1. No relay. They hold it up.
Did he just swing 3-0 back 180?
He did, and he hit a slow roller off the end of the bat.
Oh.
Let's bring in Johnny Kane.
Hey guys, here above the Tigers bullpen. Mick Billmeyer just got the call. Warwick Saupold is warming right now for the Tigers. Chad Bell working in the 4th inning. Of course, just his 2nd major league start for Chad Bell. His first start against Cleveland only made it to 4 innings. But with Michael Fulmer right now, conceivably could be on the shelf for the rest of this season. That means that Chad Bell could get an opportunity to get a few more starts here down the line. When I had a chance to talk to him this week, you know, he was drafted as a starter, reminded me of that. Of course, made some starts with Toledo, but for the most part has been a long reliever here for the Tigers. But when I asked him if you could kind of script your own future, where would it be? He said it would be as a big league starter, guys.
Yeah, I think most guys would feel that way. As Barney stands in with runners at 1st and 3rd, and the one thing we've seen is the Tigers, since the trade of Justin Verlander, have not been able to get deep starts from the fellows they've run out there. And because of that, they've had to go to the bullpen quite a bit. Now it is September. There are extra arms in the bullpen, which has helped. Barney a single in the 2nd and another toss back to 1st. Barney spent 5 years with the Chicago Cubs. Bell got the benefit of that call. It seemed wide. Barney thought it was wide.
Yeah, he did.
Foxtrot showing it a little bit outside of the zone. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 now.
Yeah, good 92-mile-per-hour 4-seam fastball there thrown by Bell. He wanted that ball inside. He didn't quite get it inside, but he was still able to throw it right by Barney. Saupold has done his best work for the Tigers in long relief role this year.
Would chase 1-2 now on Barney. Ryan Goins waiting on deck. Bell now at 64 pitches. He had that 28 pitch first. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 2 gone. Bell a chance to pitch out of this jam now.
That might be the best fastball that Bell has thrown so far here today. It's 93. It's a 2-seam fastball. It's down. It's located beautifully at the bottom of the strike zone, right on the black inside. By far the best pitch he's thrown thus far today.
Gonna leave it up to Goins now with 2 outs. Tying run at 3rd. Ball 1. These are 2 teams, the Tigers and the Jays, that coming out of spring camp, I think many thought would be at this point in the season battling for a playoff spot. But injuries really decimating the Blue Jays. They've not really played well all season long. The Tigers have gone through poor stretches this year, which has led to a lot of trades.
Had a nice conversation with John Gibbons, their manager, today, and he was talking about exactly what you just said. It's been a difficult year. They really haven't been able to get it going. And they're going to take the month of September to look at a lot of these young kids they've been playing the last number of days. Pretty much doing the exact same thing the Tigers have done. They tried to make some deals at the trade deadline, but they have some aging veterans with big contracts that they really couldn't move. So really you have two teams in a similar situation.
I would agree. And going forward, I think you'll see obviously the Tigers will be much younger next year, and the Jays probably as well.
Brad has to appreciate the enthusiasm that the young kids have been playing with. It's going to be some growing pains, there's no doubt about that. But when they do play a clean game, they have a lot of fun doing so.
And there goes the runner on a double steal coming home. They got the runner caught, and a rundown tag is made. Out at first base. Hernandez was on the move, and coming in from third base. Urena.
They stole a run there.
Did steal a run.
At 2, and I did not think that was Morales on third base, but it was Morales, and I think that's the reason why James McCann threw this ball down to second base on the double steal. Morales, they were not anticipating that he would come home because he is not the fleetest of foot, and he took off as soon as that ball went down to second base, thrown by James McCann. And then Hernandez able to stay in the rundown long enough to allow Morales to score. But shocked there that Morales would steal that base.
And Machado, though, didn't even look toward home plate on that play. He just ran the runner back to first, and Morales comes in to score. And regardless, it is a 2-2 game now. And Brett Anderson goes back to work. And he will face Jacoby Jones, Romine, and then Machado.
Guess how many stolen bases that is now for Morales this year?
One.
You got that right. But if you really think about it, though, really, I mean, if you digest that play, I mean, James McCann, he always goes out in front of the mound when there's runners on first and third, and he goes through a series of signs as to what they're going to do with the baseball if the guy on first base takes off. And I'm sure they thought that there was no way that Morales would try to score if they threw the ball down to second base. Therefore, they threw it down there, and the kid had the athleticism to stay in the pickle to allow Morales to score.
And the wily veteran scored actually with ease. they messing with down
That Luis Rivera, one of their coaches.
dropping some water inside his helmet. 3-2 the count. It was last night's starter Marcus Stroman messing with it. Swing and a miss, and Jacoby's out of there, one gone.
Anderson really has settled in after the Rocky first inning. You can see that's the breaking ball, gripped the curveball, and a beauty. Dropped right underneath the barrel of the youngster Jacoby Jones at 82 miles an hour. Away, 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 away to every right-handed hitter today.
Romine takes a strike, and the count goes 0-2 on Andrew.
Anderson starting to get on a roll out there, working very quickly.
Swing and a miss. Romine is out. 5 punch outs now for the lefty Anderson. Did you know that Star Wars night is Saturday, September 16th? The Tigers take on the White Sox at 6:10. And the first 10,000 fans receive a free Star Wars tote bag. If you'd like tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or go online, tigers.com.
Can't wait.
There's a ball outside to Dixon Machado. I know that is always one of your favorite photos.
Absolutely.
Star Wars. Dixon had an infield single in the third. High fly ball, center field, tagged pretty good. Pilar going back, still going back to the wall, leaps out, and he made the catch. What a play by Kevin Pilar to rob Dixon Machado.
The boy is cold-blooded in center field. No one covers as much range as Pilar does out there. My goodness.
Holy cats, what a play by Pilar, who went soaring through the air to take an extra base hit away from Dixon Machado. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Fifth here at Rogers Center, the Tigers and Jays in game 2 of the series. It'll be Ryan Goins who's going to get things started here. Goins at the plate when Morales broke home and scored the tying run.
I jumped the gun on Morales. It was not a stolen base for him because the trail runner was thrown out, Hernandez. He was caught in that rundown, so the lead runner does not get a steal. Had Hernandez stolen the base successfully and Morales still came home to score, then he gets a stolen base.
Yes, it goes as a fielder's choice with Hernandez being tagged out. 1 ball and 1 strike on Goins. Big swing there. He opened up as well. 1-2. Maley and then Urania to follow here in the 5th inning. Now Bell ready with the 1-2. I think we've learned that you can't hit anything at Pilar in this series because there's a good chance he's going to catch it.
And he's been doing it for a number of years. His zone rating in center field is better than any center fielder in the sport. That's how much ground Pilar covers. And he's not the fastest center fielder. I mean, by speed alone. There's some other guys that are a lot faster than Pilar, but he gets as good a jump as any center fielder in the sport.
And there is ball 4 to Goins. He's aboard.
Take one more look at the highway robbery of Pilar against Dixon Machado. Ball hit directly over his head. He goes back on it, and these are the toughest ones to gauge. He knows exactly where that wall is because he's crashed into it so many times. The athleticism to elevate and have the concentration to catch the ball knowing that you're getting ready to crash into that wall. It's a nice play by Kevin.
There is one downside to the way he plays the game, and that is that he does get banged up a lot. He throws his body around, and this time of the year it tends to catch up with you. That ball hit the right field. Castellanos will get under it.
First fly ball of the afternoon toward Nicholas Castellanos in right field, making his 2nd start in right. He handled a couple of balls yesterday flawlessly.
Here's Richard Urania. Walking a single on base 2 more times. He had a homer and was on base twice in the game yesterday. Urania getting a chance to play short here with Tulowitzki's done for the season with his injury. Tulowitzki out with an ankle problem, so he's done for the year. Urania giving a look, but the Jays also have a really good prospect by the name of Bo Bichette, who is Dante Bichette's son. A great-looking shortstop in the minor leagues. He's an A-ball, was in the Midwest League at Lansing this year.
Yeah, but their best prospect is Vladimir Guerrero's son, they say.
Yeah, and he was a teammate of Bo Bichette's.
He's just 19 years old, Guerrero.
1 ball and 1 strike.
They say he has a chance to be better than his daddy. Ooh. And that's saying something.
His daddy was pretty good.
Oh my goodness.
Runner goes. McCann's throw, and it's going to go into center field, but not far enough, and safe at 2nd is Goins with a steal. He's in scoring position now with 1 out.
And Goins went on first movement. As soon as Bell picked up that right leg, he was off and running. I thought maybe McCann was going to eat it and was not going to try to throw him out, but he kept it low enough to make sure that that ball did not get too far away from Dixon Machado if it did get into center field.
One and 2 on Urania. Sliced foul. You know it's hit hard when the ball dude just runs out of the way.
5-0 got out of the way too down there. Police officer, he's a smart man.
5-0.
Yeah, he is.
He's at least got a little protection on him.
He got out of the way. He said, it's not my first rodeo.
Foul tip into the glove of McCann for a strikeout. 2 gone. Just a reminder, as you enjoy cold one, look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
As much damage as Bautista has done against the Tigers, here's a situation where they would put him on if Smoke was not behind him doing all the damage that he's been doing. He's only batting .207, but he's hitting .345 in his career against Tigers pitching.
Ball one, missing low and away to Bautista.
So you have to pitch him carefully. You're not going to pitch around him, but pitch him carefully.
Homered in the ball game last night. Bautista also doubled.
Bautista was somewhat of a late bloomer. When he got to the Toronto Blue Jays, his career just took off.
Bautista's going to job on now with Chad Fairchild.
He's got a beef. Didn't appear to be a strike.
Here are those numbers lifetime against the Tigers. 10 home runs, .345 average. Yeah, that was not a strike. 1-1.
Ooh, good pitch. They have really pitched him aggressively inside in the first 2 games of the series. Not every pitch, but they will go in there against him. We told you last night he stands right on top of the plate. And a lot of times when guys stand right on top of the plate, you want to throw that baseball right at their hands. There's a good look at it. Watch his hands when they come set.
Meeting on the mound now.
The meeting of the minds.
A bit of both. Talking about Bautista really coming into his own here with the Jays. His first All-Star season was 2010 with the Jays when he had 54 home runs.
Right.
Far and away his career high to that point. He had played with Pittsburgh for a while. Ooh, look out, down he goes, and he's hit by the pitch. So Bautista will take his base. 2 on 2 outs. It was the 85th pitch thrown by Bell, which is a season high, and that'll bring Brad out. You got Smoke coming up here in a 2-2 game. Looks like he may have a Game, apparently a cut on his hand somewhere near the thumb, and so Warwick Soppold will take over.
And Warwick pitching in his 38th game this year, variety of different roles for Brad Ausmus. His ERA sits under 4, 35 strikeouts. He's walked 24. Soppold does not get lots of strikeouts, pitches to quite a bit of contact, keeps the defense on their toes.
2 on and 2 out, and ball 1 to Smoke, who's batting lefty against the righty Soppold.
And told you last time that Smoke was up. His batting average way up, batting right-handed, but power numbers. He's hit 30 homers left-handed. Tremendous power to left center field for the big switch hitter.
2-0.
Don't know what's going on with the right hand there of Bell, but obviously he's got something going on with that right hand.
There was a little cut around his thumb. There's a strike 2-1 on Smoke.
Obviously not the pitching hand of Chad Bell, so no issue there.
Two on, 2 out. Ball 3. With Morales waiting on deck. Smoke knocked into a double play in his last at bat. He's 0 for 2 and now 1 for 5 in the series. Here's the 3-1. And he walked in ball 4. That'll load the bases. 2 walks and a hit batter to fill him up. Now you got to deal with Kendrys Morales.
You might want to throw Morales a fastball here. He's one of the hitters in the league that understands that usually when there's runners in scoring position, the pitcher is going to throw him something off speed, and he sits on off speed pitches early in counts.
4 career grand slams for Morales. And a strike called, 0-1.
See, he took that fastball right down the middle. He was looking for an off-speed pitch. It's a nice job there by Soppold, and also James McCann for reading the scouting reports.
Single and a walk for Morales. Bouncing ball right side, straight into the second baseman Kinsler, who is playing deeply. He'll come in to make the play, and the Blue Jays will leave him loaded. No runs, couple of walks, and a hit batter. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. For tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And it's the Chevy Labor Day sales event right out the summer in a new Chevrolet. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer. Spectacular day for baseball here in Toronto. In the shadow of the CN Tower, we're at Rogers Center, where it's a pretty good one today. 2-2 is our score in front of a big crowd. It'll be the top of the lineup coming up. Kinsler, Candelario, and then Cabrera facing the lefty Brett Anderson. First one is ripped foul to third base. Kinsler is 0 for 2, pop up in a flyout. Tigers got a 2-run homer from Miguel Cabrera in the first, but nothing since. Sliced the other way this time.
Meanwhile, Anderson has really settled in. Now, he started out the ball game throwing a lot of two-seam fastballs against this predominantly right-handed lineup that Brad has thrown at him today. But lately, he's been dropping that breaking ball in there nicely, mostly curveballs. Throwing a lot of strikes.
He has thrown a lot better in a Jays uniform compared to the Cubs. He made 6 starts this year with the Cubs and was 2-2, but his ERA was north of 8.
He's got a nice audition here in the month of September.
Hard hit ball to the shortstop, ranging left. Urania throws high, and the tag is made. Kinsler is out. Ian tried to avoid the tag.
It's a nice job by Justin Smoke, who's only made 2 errors at the first base position all year. He's got soft hands, and he's got some athleticism over there. Not a good throw here by the shortstop, but he comes off the bag, and he's able to apply the tag to Ian Kinsler, who tried to elude the tag, and by sliding head first at the last moment.
Tigers want a challenge.
Oh, he got it.
Yeah, he got him. He thought about it, but they will not challenge.
It's a nice play by Smoke. I don't know if he's done well enough to take the Gold Glove away from Eric Hosmer, though.
I don't know about that either.
If in fact Hosmer will get it this season. Moreland got it last year of the Boston Red Sox. He was with Texas then.
Candelario, the batter, singled, scored on the Miggy home run in the first. Flat out to right field in his last at bat. Jamer rolls that one foul to third base. 1-2 on Candelario, who is acquired in the deal with the Cubs. Sent Justin Wilson over there and Alex Avila. Tigers also got another pretty good prospect by the name of Isaac Paredes, who is only 18 years old, playing in the Midwest League.
Avila has done some nice work in Chicago.
Here's the 1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Although they're calling him Avila over there now.
Yeah, I know. And I've had to remind some people that Alex himself told us
exactly
he likes Avila.
Right.
2-2.
This guy's got some nice wrists. He's got some quick hands. He does too, Miguel Cabrera, but I'm talking about Candelario. Good hand-eye coordination. Something the Tigers don't have a lot of, Mario. Don't have a lot of switch hitters. When you look at the Blue Jays lineup, they've got 3 switch hitters in their lineup today. Tigers have a couple with Roman and Candelario.
Switch hitters always will present matchup problems. You can throw a few in your starting lineup.
That's right.
Especially those that have some power. Anderson now at 85 in this game.
Not much stress for Anderson beyond that first inning when he needed 21 pitches.
Line drive to left, base hit for Candelario. Maybe more are going to take the turn going to second. Here's the throw, not in time. It'll be a double for Jamer. Second hit of the game.
His first time up, he went down the right field line past the first baseman, Justin Smoke. This time he sees enough pitches from Anderson to take that breaking ball, and he just simply ripped it. He allowed it to get in the strike zone and just dropped the bat head on the baseball. And because playing on the artificial surface, he knew he could get 2 here, and he was able to get there.
So Candelario, who came in having hit in 6 of 7, now 7 of 8. With a single and a double in this one, that'll bring up Cabrera.
And Miguel has accounted for the only 2 runs the Tigers have scored here today. He homered back in the first inning. Anderson struck Miggy out in the 3rd. Man, that's a borderline pitch there. My goodness. But nothing really you can do with that pitch, though. If he wants to call it a strike, so be it.
That's on the ground to second. He hit it right at Goins. Runner will advance with their 2 outs. It's going to bring up Castellanos. So as we keep our eye on Anderson now, his season high is 100 pitches. That was with the Cubs earlier this year. He's at 88 right now.
I don't know what the Blue Jays are thinking here, but with 2 outs and the Tigers leading RBI guy standing in the batter's box, it would be foolish to pitch to Nicholas Castellanos. But we'll see if they do go after Nick here.
Carlos Ramirez warming up.
Yeah, both of these teams have deep bullpens. The Tigers have about 11 pitchers in their bullpen with all the September call-ups.
Which always brings up a great point this time of the year. Having hung around Jim Leyland as long as we did, he always talked about how you play the first 5 months of the year with one set of rules. All of a sudden, everybody's got a deep bullpen and a deep bench in September.
Right. Then you get some managers that just want to match up against every batter late in the game. It looks like Anderson indeed is going to pitch around Castellanos.
Hicks waiting on deck. Candelario, the go-ahead run is at 3rd.
At least it appears that way.
Ball 3. This is where Castellanos has done some of his best work batting cleanup this season. 370.
And he's also showing some maturation as well in this particular at bat to go along with those numbers, batting in the number 4 spot. He hasn't left the strike zone to swing at any of these borderline pitches thrown by Anderson.
He's going to drive one to right field, sinking, and a sliding catch in right by Bautista, who snow-coned it. And took a hit and an RBI away from Castellanos.
Nicholas almost burned Anderson on that 3-0 fastball that he threw, but he got too much plate with. Bailed out by Bautista.
The flavors your snow cone here. Great.
Vanilla. Bautista in right field, 3-0 pitch. Anderson got way too much, played for Castellanos, and Castellanos, knowing the situation, he took a swing at it, and Bautista comes in and makes a shoestring grab. If that ball would have got past him, Castellanos may have gotten his second inside the park home run of the season.
Well, it's still tied at 2, and now Sappold goes back to work, and Kevin Pillar leads it off.
I really like that at bat by Castellanos. He could clearly see that Anderson was pitching around him. But what good RBI men do in that particular situation, if you get it too close, they're going to try to put it in play, and that's exactly what Castellanos did. That ball is off the plate outside. Nicholas took a swing at it and nearly got that game-winning ribby, or at least the go-ahead RBI.
Pillar 2 out of 2, couple of singles and RBI, takes ball 2 outside. Well, you can drill a baseball and get nothing. You can loop a baseball and get a hit, but there's always that defensive play sometimes that'll drive you nuts. Bautista turning one in, Pillar in center field turning one in, and now Sappold has gone to 3-1. 2-2 game. It's been tied at 2 since the 4th. Warwick came on in the 5th inning. High drive, left field. That ball is deep. It's going to the track. It's going to the wall. And it's out of here, a home run. Kevin Pillar has just hit his 15th of the year, a solo shot. Jays have their first lead.
Pillar has seen a lot of pitches already here today. In his first at-bat of the afternoon, it was a 10-pitch at-bat by Chad Bell that resulted in a base hit and an RBI. Here's the count. It's 3-1, and his predictable fastball count. It was a two-seamer, and that he just simply turned on and hit it out of the ballpark.
2 singles and a homer for Pillar. 2 RBIs today.
And a dazzling play in center field.
Yeah, don't forget that. He's had quite a day.
Didn't go to a big school. Went to community college in Carson, California.
We often say there are many paths to the big leagues.
He's made himself into a really good baseball player. He hit every step of the way in the minor leagues. Wasn't a very high round draft choice.
Hernandez is 0 for 2. That'll miss low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. First lead of the game for the Jays. More action in the Tigers pen. Daniels stumped. Swing and a miss. 1 gone. Time for a game break now, and John Keating. All right, Keats. There's a drive to right field. That'll drop in, base hit. But I'll tell you what, man. Everybody I've talked to about Matt Manning says legit, legit, legit.
I can't wait to see him in spring training. I hope the Tigers have him in spring training. His stuff, Mario plays fastball in the upper 90s and a wipeout slider, mound presence, you name it. I've heard nothing but glowing praise for Matt Manning. He looks the part too. Big, strong, physical guy.
Here is Ryan Goins now.
Did Johnny Kane make it up there today? I guess he didn't, did he?
Yeah, I don't blame him.
The CN Town.
It's very imposing up there.
Well, he said he was going up there last night.
I know. Maybe you get up halfway up that thing and you rethink it. Now McCann coming out to the mound. Goins a walk and a strikeout in this game. Tigers trail for the first time. We're in the 6th, 3-2.
Pitching change.
Yep, here comes Brad again. They bought a little time for Daniel Stumpf. It's going to be it for Supple.
And you wonder if John Gibbons will counter with a right-hander off his bench.
Wall side windows pitching change. Daniel Stumpf in, Supple out.
Sixth inning, Blue Jays with their first lead of the afternoon. You know, one of the things you absolutely have to visit when you come to Toronto is the CN Tower. We had ambitions of getting up near the top, but we ran into some difficulties because we didn't have the cash. We didn't have we didn't have the necessary.
You didn't bring out the company
cash
credit
flow.
card.
Well, listen, typically, you know, I would try to expense some of these things, but if you want to live on the edge and do the full package where you actually get harnessed in and hang over the top, it's $225. I just didn't have that kind of coin, boys. So we looked at it from underneath, and it is special to see.
Good looks couldn't get you in, Johnny Kane.
No way, man. I tried to tell my new Denzel Washington on bus number 1. They weren't buying that either. But no, this thing, I'm going to save it for next time we come back here, but the equivalent of a 147-foot tall building, they say, 1,815 feet. CN Tower was constructed back in 1976 when it opened to the public, but it is a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
Third tallest tower in the world.
Let us know how that goes when you go up there.
Yeah, I'll take pictures.
Runner goes, swing and a miss. Here's the throw down to second, wide. Backed up, though, by Kinsler.
These Blue Jays have been very aggressive today, running against Chad Bell and now Daniel Stumpf, a couple of left-handers where they've pretty much just gone on first movement. First movement means as soon as he picks that front foot up, the base runner's off and running. And we've seen McCann with a couple of throws that have tailed over towards second base today because he's had to rush his throws today.
One ball and one strike to count. Owens a walk and a strikeout. Chopper to the right side of the infield. Kinsler coming over. Owens is out. Runner advances to third. More action in the Tigers bullpen. Verhagen and Farrell warming up. Here is Luke Maile, the number 9 hitter, who's hit the ball hard a couple of times despite the fact that he came in 3 for his last 41.
Yeah, he lined out to left field. Romine made a spectacular cast, and then Castellanos made a nice play on him his last time up.
Strike one on Maile. Former Rays catcher who was let go in April by the Rays and signed up by the Blue Jays. Trying to drive in a 2-out run. 3-2 Toronto. Fouled away. 0-2. Mainly does have a couple of homers this year. It'll bounce in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Home run by Pilar has given the Jays the lead. Their first lead of this game. Back up the middle. Into center field, a base hit just out of the reach of Machado, and another run in for the Jays. 4-2.
How about that? Bailey has hit 2 balls extremely hard today with nothing to show for it, and he breaks his bat, and he's able to get one right past the diving Dixon Machado for a base hit and an RBI.
That, as they say, is baseball. Plus 2-out hit from the number 9 hitter, and now a 2-run spread. Here's Richard Urania. That run is charged to Soppold, so he'll be charged with both of the 6th inning runs. Ball 1. Single and a walk for Urania. He struck out in his last at bat. Two 2-0 the count. Tigers, despite their win last night, has still lost 8 of their last 11 in this ballpark. Of course, the Jays teams did a lot of that damage with the teams that had Encarnacion and Donaldson going.
Yeah, they were healthy. Tulowitzki,
Bautista. Encarnacion now in Cleveland. Donaldson is probably going to play tomorrow, John Gibbons said. He's been bothered by the flu.
This Blue Jays team has been struggling in their last 20 games. They've lost 15. So 5 and 15 in their last 20. That's the worst 20-game stretch in the majors.
Three and 1 now on Urania, with Bautista lurking on deck. Three 2.
And Maley will be on the move here on the 3-2 pitch. Miguel Cabrera will simply play behind him.
To right field, but foul. Nelson Maley back to first base. Story here today has been a 2-run homer early by Cabrera, but since then Brett Anderson settling in, putting up nothing but zeros.
Yeah, 4 unanswered runs and by the Toronto Blue Jays in the last few innings.
Drilled to center field. That ball is going to get down, a base hit. Jones over to plate on a hop. Maley will get to third, and now the Jays have him at first and third.
Might have to bring a right-hander in to go after Bautista here.
Well, they had 2 of them warming up in the bullpen. Here comes Brad. Stump will face 2, make it 3 batters. He got an out and then a couple of singles. Oh, another wall side windows pitching change. Daniel Stump is done. Drew Verhagen coming in. We play in the bottom of the 6th inning, 2 men on, and now the Tigers have gone to the bullpen. Drew Verhagen coming out of the pen for the Tigers. And for Verhagen, his 15th appearance of the year for Detroit. And now he's going to try and settle things down a bit here. He's got Bautista to deal with, runners at first and third. Four runs on 9 hits for the Jays, 2 runs on 5 hits for the Tigers. Bautista was hit by a pitch in his last at bat. Good bender, drops in for a strike. 0-1. Top of the zone as well. Bautista has also scored a run in this game.
Made a nice play in right field as well, taking a base hit away from Castellanos and an RBI.
The 0-1 pitch went around. Oh, 2. Home run by Pilar started the inning. They put together 3 singles, a stolen base. They've gotten another run. And the Tigers found themselves down by 2. Now Verhagen's 0-2 is outside, going to roll away. Runner will advance to second as Pereña moves up. That'll put him at second and third now for Bautista. McCann able to corral that last pitch.
It was
McCann out to the mound.
It was last night. It was Drew Verhagen who was on the mound when there were runners on first and second, and Pilar was in the batter's box, ground ball to third base, and that started that 5 unassisted 4-3 triple play in last night's game. One of your bigger moments in last night's contest. Verhagen, when he is in relief, throws lots of ground balls. Good 2-seam fastball. with good movement, went down. Oh, what a block.
Man, McCann coming up big there.
Oh, what a block.
2-2, holding the runner at third.
That had wild pitch and run written all over it. I don't know how he blocked it. Took that one off the left bicep.
Drew made a couple of starts earlier this year. Working out of the bullpen these days. 2-out risk, only 139 for Bautista. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Bautista's out of there.
Do it, Drew.
And Verhagen gets it done out of the Tiger bullpen. But the Jays have taken the lead.
Game summary. Tigers got on the board first here today. Miguel Cabrera with a 2-run shot, his first game back after the 6-game suspension. The Blue Jays literally stole a run. Hernandez took off from first. Morales knocked the Flutus foot, was on third, but he scored before Hernandez was tagged out by Machado. And Kevin Pillar today not only has gotten it done with the glove, but he's also gotten it done with his bat. He's got 3 hits today. One of those left the building, a solo shot in the 6th.
So the Blue Jays go to the bullpen now in a wall side windows pitching change. It'll be Carlos Ramirez to stand in. And John Hicks leads it off and sends the first one high in the air. Third base side, foul ground. Urania, 1 pitch and 1 gone.
Ramirez tops out at about 93, 94 miles per hour. You saw that low 3-quarter arm slot that he threw that first pitch to John Hicks with. But he throws a lot of sliders. This guy will throw 59% sliders. So he throws the slider more than his fastball.
1 gone now for James McCann. So Ramirez takes over for Brett Anderson. The big story here today, allowed a 2-run shot to Miguel Cabrera in the first inning, and then after that it was pretty much lights out. Tigers got a couple of base runners against him since, but could not score. And Mack looks at a strike 0-1. How about Ramirez? He has not allowed an earned run over 43 2/3 innings this year. That's AA, AAA, and now the big leagues. The 0-1 pitch. 0-2 on McCann.
That is a nasty pitch right here from this arm slot at 91. Look at this 2-seamer run in on the hands of James McCann. This pitch thrown from Ramirez. Look at the late life on this pitch. I mean, that thing just took off and ended up in on the hands of McCann. So pretty much he goes east to west in the strike zone. Two-seamers into the right-handers and then sliders away from the right-handers. We've seen the two-seamer. Here comes the slider.
Swing and a miss. And he finished off McCann with it, 2 gone. Hey, September 23rd, the Tigers take on the Twins at 6:10. The first 10,000 fans get a free Tigers Hawaiian shirt. If you'd like tickets, go to Tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER. Rod Allen wears Tiger Hawaiian shirts around the ballpark all the time.
Yeah, I'll put that on. Paul's making a fashion statement.
Here's Jacoby Jones. Paul's will put anything on.
If Jacoby Jones should be sitting on one pitch right here, and from Ramirez, he's got himself in a fastball friendly count. That's the only thing you're looking for is a fastball. If he throws you a slider, don't swing at it.
Off the plate, 2-0 now on Jacoby.
Jacoby Jones with that 2-homer game at Comerica Park on that last homestand. One to right field, the other one to left field.
The 2-0. 2-1 on Jones. Ramirez signed as a shortstop, turned to a center fielder, and then converted to the pitching mound back in 2015. So it's been a circuitous route to the big leagues.
Well, if you can't hit that slider, you might as well start throwing them.
Here's the 2-1. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
We've got a lot of late life on that two-seamer.
You know, this Blue Jays bullpen here in the month of September has been awfully good. They have logged an ERA of 2.48 this month. And despite the fact the Jays have struggled in terms of wins and losses. 2-2 on Jones. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Jacoby down on strikes. And a 1-2-3 inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th here at Rogers Center. 4-2 Jays. We go to the bottom of the 7th, and there are some folks participating in the edge walk.
Oh, Lord, no.
The top of CN Tower.
Oh, no.
You got to be some kind of left of center to want to do that.
Oh, my goodness.
Ah, yes, the edge walk. Maybe one of these days, Rod and I.
That is not on my bucket list.
No?
No.
Come on, I'll do it if you do it.
Nope.
I'm lying. I wouldn't do it anyway.
I knew you would.
4-2 is our score. And it's a strike called as Jeff Farrell now is on for the Tigers.
Yeah, 8th game now for Jeff Farrell since being recalled from the minor leagues.
Wave and a miss. Good 96 four-seam, tied him up.
Where'd that come from? I did not know Farrell had 96 in his back pocket. I know he has that plus changeup, but did not realize he could get the 96.
Smoke had a walk in his last at bat. He's also knocked into a double play in this game. 96 again from Farrell.
Here comes that changeup, possibly. But if you do throw that changeup, make sure you get it away from Smoke. He's dangerous, especially to right center field.
High, towering fly ball to left. Romine drifting to the warning track. One gone. Here is Kenrys Morales. Morales a single, a walk. Leon warming up in the bullpen for the Blue Jays as they will try and piece together the final 3 innings of this game. Brett Anderson gave him 6 strong. Wave and a miss.
There's that changeup that Farrell features, and it's an outstanding pitch. He's got one of your better changeups of any pitcher in the Tigers' entire organization.
Morales scored a run in the 4th inning, coming home from 3rd when Hernandez was caught between 1st and 2nd. Kenrys very alertly came scampering home. Another swing and a miss.
He's thrown Kendrys 3 straight changeups.
Tigers today have been out hit 9-5. They trail by 2. Pilar waiting on deck. They play Morales just like they played Smoke to pull the shift to the right side of the infield with Kinsler deep. Actually, that's Candelario deep. Kinsler more up the middle. Missed it inside. Farrell last year appeared in just 9 games, was hurt most of the season after making his big league debut with the Tigers 2 years ago in 2015. Down low, and Morales now 3-2. It's almost right at this point of the season. Actually, that was ball 4. Or are they intentionally walking him now? So Morales is going to go to first base. That was ball 4. I thought it was a 3-2 pitch, but I thought, all right, it just missed one. And now they finally say you're walked. And so Morales will take first. 1 on, 1 out for Pilar. Driven to left field on a line. Romine will back off, play it on 1 hop.
What a day for Kevin Pilar.
This is a 4-hit day for Pilar. Call same call to the game. What a day he's had, Rob.
He's had 4 hits. He singled in his first 2 times up today. Drove in a run his first time up. And then after he got those 2 hits, he played long ball. It was a solo shot to left field. And then this time he gets another base hit, and just to top it off, he's also made a dazzling play in center field.
You probably can't have a better day.
Nope. 4 for 4 with a catch like that. It's a 3rd 4-hit game for Kevin Pilar in his major league career.
Now Hernandez. Ball 1. It has been all Jays since the early 2-0 Tigers lead. Keep in mind, though, if it gets to this point where they bring in Osuna to close out the game, he's blown 10 games this year for the Blue Jays. Tigers have some work to do, though. They're down 2 runs with 2 on here and a 2-0 count.
It's been one of those days where the Tigers, from a pitching standpoint,
driven to left, the base hit. Morales to third. They're going to send him home. Romine's throw to the plate. Slide. He's out at home plate.
Do it, Romine.
He ran right in the face of Andrew Romine, who threw a one-hopper to McCann. John Gibbons says, hold on, we might want to check this.
That is the second outstanding play that Andrew Romine has made in left field today. One was a catch. That one was a throw. Romine really took his time, got behind this ball, and because of his quick feet, because he plays infield all the time, he was able to get rid of the baseball quickly and made a very accurate throw to James McCann, one hopper, to get Kendrys Morales.
Good job by James.
I was getting ready to say that the Tigers pitchers today have worked behind in the count way too often, and that's the reason why they're trailing in this game. And that was a 2-0 base hit right there off the bat of Hernandez.
Darwin Barney cuts and misses 0-1. A walk and 2 straight hits, but a good throw by Romine in left. Rivera probably thought their third base coach, well, Romine not a natural outfielder. Let's test his arm here, and he threw a one-hop bullet. And see you later. Morales, who was rumbling around third, was thrown out. Did not go. So says Robert Ortiz.
Looks like Pilar, a base runner on that second base. Where's that other mitt? Same one that Rajay Davis used to wear on the left hand. Prevents you from jamming your fingers when you slide head first.
Pilar will draw a look.
There's that other mitt.
Saw somebody wear one of those this year. Was a modified version where the thumb rather was actually exposed, and I'm trying to figure out what the purpose of that would be.
Right.
You're trying to protect all of your fingers, including the thumb. The 1-1. Little bouncer back to the mound, knocked down by Farrell. They'll throw him out, and the crisis averted. No runs. They get a couple of hits that leave 2. Tigers baseball from Toronto, presented by Bell Tire.
And it is brought to you by Miller Lite. If you tuned in late, you missed this great catch by Andrew Romine, taking a base hit and a double away from Melee, their catcher. And then he made a really nice play in the last half inning. And with 1 out, Kendrys Morales on the base hit, attempting to score. Romine gets rid of it in a hurry with those quick feet and a one-hop throw to James McCann to apply the tag to Kendrys to get the out.
That'll keep it a 2-run game as we go to the top of the 8th inning, and it's going to be Romine to get things started. Then Machado, then Kinsler. Dominic Leone coming out of the bullpen now for the Jays.
He's had a nice year. 8 holds in 58 games. He's punched out 73.
A career high in appearances now for Leone.
At fastball 95, that first pitch to Andrew Romine, and it wasn't a straight fastball. That 95 had a little late life on it, a little tailing action.
Chopper right side of the infield, straight at Smoke, and 1 gone. Bullpen now is retired 4 straight for Toronto. And he'll bring up Dixon Machado. Well, Dixon hit that ball to center field that looked like it was going to be a double. But Kevin Pillar went soaring through the air like Superman, I suppose.
Yeah, he did.
Great catch.
Superman, Spider-Man, any one of them.
They can all scale a wall like Pillar. 1-0 on Dixon, and an infield single in the 3rd. We're talking about Pillar and how he plays the game with reckless abandon to be able to make those plays, but it does take a toll on his body. Chopper, third base side. Barney backs up for the hop, and Dixon out by a step, 2 gone.
Well, you know, Pillar really appreciates the game coming from community college in California.
RBI Baseball 2017 is out now for Xbox One, PS4, iOS, and Android. Enjoy fast-paced pick-up-and-play MLB action packed with all your favorite MLB teams, players, and ballparks. RBIGame.com for more info. Wilson and Hardy in the Tigers bullpen.
Alex gave up a couple of homers yesterday, and when he came in the game,
uncharacteristic.
it was.
Ian looks at a strike on the outer edge.
And Leone threw in nothing but strikes. Good arm, too.
Yeah, we remember him from his Seattle days. He was acquired off the waiver wire from Arizona in the offseason. Both Seattle, he had some pretty good numbers. High fly ball, foul, first base side, out of play. 0-2 on Kinsler. Ground out, fly out, pop up. You look at the Tiger box. Blue Jays 4 runs, 11 hits. Tigers 2 runs on 5 hits. .96.
Yeah, he reached back to get a little extra on that last fastball thrown to Ian. Ian has always been a good fastball hitter since he came to the big leagues over a decade ago.
The 1-2. Kinsler homered in yesterday's ball game. It came in the 7th inning, a solo shot. At the time, extending the Tigers' lead to 5-2, and that would be the difference as the Tigers won 5-4.
Yeah, pretty much every pitch that Leone has thrown has been a mid-90s fastball. He's only thrown 8.
Emergency hack there. Last time a big leaguer has hit 16 straight homers that are all solo shots, you got to go back to 1987. Cal Daniels.
Cal Daniels.
Remember that name?
Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, good player.
He was a good outfielder too. He could hit.
Leone ready again with the 1-2. Another foul back out of play as Kinsler continues to battle against that 96-mile-an-hour heat. Leone over his last 31 games, an ERA of 1.69. Swing and a miss, he got it. Chased the cutter there to end the inning on a 1-2-3 frame for Leon. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th here at Rogers Center. Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives to Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Nice day for baseball here in Toronto. Game 2 in the series. Jays lead right now as Blaine Hardy goes to work. And the first ball bounced back up the middle as Kinsler throws him out. One gone. Goins out of there, and that'll bring up Luke Maile. Blaine Hardy joins the fray here, taking over for Farrell, who threw the 7th.
And for the most part, Blaine Hardy has spent the majority of the season down in Toledo. He's been in 26 games in the big leagues, 5 holds, the ERA sitting at 5.5.
Blaine now will take on Maile, who had a big RBI single. That was back in the 6th. Tigers in the 9th. Pretty good shape in their lineup. Candelario, Cabrera, Castellanos. That ball headed to the gap in right center field. Jones can't get there. It'll go to the warning track into the wall. Maile now will go to second and pull in there with a 1-out double. For a guy that came in 3 for his last 41, he's had a pretty good day with the bat.
That's a changeup, and Maile stays back long enough to loft that ball into right center field. Jacoby Jones had to run a long way to get there. And the ball bounces over his glove. By the time he finds it, and Maile just cruising into second. No thoughts of going to third for Maile.
Ryan Tepera warming up in the bullpen for the Jays.
No Sanchez.
You know Osuna?
Osuna, excuse me.
No Osuna. You mentioned the struggles he has had.
Right.
Big story here, though, is getting out of this inning without allowing any more runs. And now Urania stands in here with 1 out. Single walk. He's also punched out. Ball 1 high. Two and 1. Hardy has been up and down the last couple of years with the Tigers, working out of their bullpen.
For the most part, he's held his own too. I mean, Hardy throws a lot of strikes. Got a fastball that tops out about 91. Got a nice little breaking ball, changeup.
He was called up prior to the doubleheader against the Cleveland Indians on the last homestand. Made a couple of starts as well down at Toledo this year. 7-3 record, 3.10 ERA, so good numbers in the minors. Inside, full count on Urena, 3-2. The meaty part of the Jays lineup is lurking. You got Bautista, then Smoke. Three-two pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. He pulled the string on it. 2 gone. Here's the upcoming matchup presented by Wallside Windows. We will wrap up this series tomorrow, and looks like Anibal Sanchez will be able to make the start.
He'll be going up against Jay Happ. And Jay Happ pitched in 119 innings so far this year. Won 20 games last year. Only 7 this year. Anibal also has had a rough go of it. He was knocked out of his last start after just 1 batter.
That is popped up foul beyond plate. So the Tigers will see lefties on back-to-back days. Anderson started today and then Happ tomorrow. There's Jay Happ. In search of his 8th win tomorrow. Bautista with a couple of punch-outs in this game. In there, a strike called, 0-2.
Good four-seam fastball there by Hardy, looked like to me. And Bautista might have been in the back of his mind looking for a changeup. He threw quite a few changeups to Urena.
Just got a piece of it to stay alive.
That one got a piece of Chad Fairchild too.
We've seen a lot of home plate umpires get drilled this year. It seems like a little more than normal.
And both Bautista and James McCann impatiently waiting for Fairchild to gather himself.
Hardy trying to work around a 1-out double by Maley. And he thought about offering but missed outside. 1-2 on Bautista. Came in .345 career against the Tigers. Little pop up back a second. Kinsler going back, still going back, dropped it. And a run will score. Maley comes in from second, and it's 5-2 Jays. Ian made a sprint for that ball. Looked like he was going to get there.
Yeah, it looked like he had it all the way. It's a tough play, there's no doubt about that. But Ian Kinsler will tell you that he probably should have caught the ball once he got there. And just wasn't able to corral it. But he ran a long way, took a direct route to get there. Looked like the ball was going to land in his glove, but just didn't get it in the glove.
Big run for the Jays. They lead 5-2 now, and that'll bring up Justin Smoke. Strike 1 on Smoke. They've ruled that a base hit. RBI for Bautista.
Surprised it took him that long to give him a base hit. You don't usually see guys getting errors, especially middle infielders, when they're running and with their backs in the infield.
Pops straight up at home plate, and McCann will haul it in to retire the side, but the Jays get another run. We go to the 9th in Toronto. We go to the 9th indeed. The Tigers need 3 runs to tie, 4 to go ahead, and we've got a new pitcher coming on now. It'll be Ryan Tepera for the Jays.
And Tepera's got a big arm. His average fastball is 95, which means he could probably get up to 97, 98. And when not throwing that four-seam fastball in the mid-90s, he's cutting the fastball at about 87 to 88. He also has a changeup, but he doesn't throw that very often.
3 pretty good hitters to go through. Candelario, Cabrera, Castellanos here in the 9th. First pitch swinging, popped it up foul and headed back to the seats. It's going to go out of play, a couple of rows deep.
And nice loose arm there by Tepera. Mid-90s fastball to Jeimer Candelario.
Tepera's 3rd in the American League in innings pitched with 70 2/3.
Ooh, that's a lot.
And they have leaned on him. Here's the 0-1. Jeimer, another big day with the bat. Single, double, run scored.
Those 2 hits came when Jeimer was batting right-handed today.
Miggy waiting on deck. Tigers today have been out hit 13-5. Here's the 2-1. Tigers will have a really good look at Candelario here down the final month of the year here in September. And heading into spring training next year, and I think a lot depends on how Castellanos does in right field. I don't think the Tigers will close the door on 3rd for Castellanos, but if he can show he can play right field, Jeimer might be your man at 3rd base. Foul back.
I was thinking that the Tigers actually could even play Castellanos in left field, depending on where he feels most comfortable. Obviously, Justin Upton is no longer here, so if Castellanos is more comfortable in left, and then he can occupy that position and not so much right field.
Yeah, that's a good point. In fact, his other time in the outfield back in 2013 was all in left field.
Right.
Inside 3-2 now on Candelario. And he walked it. Ball 4. Leadoff man is on. Tigers need base runners, and they got one.
Wanted to revisit to Miguel Cabrera's first at bat since serving his suspension. We told you that Anderson gets lots of swings and misses at the top of the strike zone. And he tried to, with 2 strikes, a 92-mile-per-hour fastball, get it by Miguel Cabrera, and Miguel was not having any of that. It was the second home run for Miggy in his last 30 games, and it got the Tigers on the board first this afternoon.
Cabrera with a strikeout and a ground out in his other 2 at bats. And Miguel looks at ball 1.
First pitch 97. Every last fastball that he threw to Candelario was 95 miles an hour. And all of a sudden Miggy steps in that batter's box and he's got 97 waiting for Miguel.
One.
Miggy won't try to pull the fastball. Miggy will simply hit that fastball in the mid-90s to right center field. He is not necessarily a pull hitter.
Tepera has allowed 5 homers this year.
Miggy will be going in that direction somewhere.
Ground ball left side. It's going to find a hole. Base hit. And the first 2 Tigers are on here in the 9th. Cabrera found a seam to the left side of the infield. And bring up Castellanos.
Nicholas Castellanos loves to swing at the very first pitch, especially when there's runners in scoring position, and he's had a lot of success doing so when he does get that first pitch fastball. 84 RBI this year for Castellanos. In his last 25 games, he's driven in 26. Those are J-Up kind of numbers. That's what J-Up was doing before he left.
Yeah, driving in a boatload of runs.
Run producer.
Single in 3 at bats tonight for Nick.
I happen to believe, Mario, too, that Nicholas Castellanos will be able to exhale a little bit by not playing third base, because I mean, he obviously made some mistakes when he was playing third base, and I'm sure that probably weighed on him very heavily, the fact that he committed a lot of mistakes there at that position. But now he doesn't have to worry about that. Just hit.
You know, I wonder as well, Rod, if there's a lot more thinking that goes into third base as well, aside from the outfield. I mean, you're obviously more close to the play, and as you say, when you've made a lot of errors at a certain position,
he could simply just go out to the outfield, and you got to make plays out there, but at the same time he doesn't have to worry about the fact that they may think that he's not a good defender at third.
Barnes and Dermody the lefty.
Nicholas is still just 25 years old.
Fly ball in the air to right field. That ball hit well. Bautista going back. It's over his head up against the wall. Candelario comes around to score. Cabrera goes to third. It's a double and an RBI, and it's 5-3. Nick with his second hit and his 85th RBI.
Nick has really swung the bat very well the entire series. Doesn't have a whole lot to show for the way he has swung the bat here today, but he does get rewarded here with a double the opposite way. That's a firm fastball in the mid-90s thrown by Tepera. And we told you that Castellanos is a lot like Miggy. They don't try to pull those mid-90s fastballs. Takes it the other way for a double and another stake.
Single double RBI for Castellanos on the day. The Tigers now have the tying runs in scoring position, nobody out.
Take one more look at this setup by Nicholas Castellanos, the side swing, and where contact is made. You can see the head is directly down on the baseball when making contact. And Nicholas able to drive that ball the opposite way. Remember, he homered yesterday to straightaway center field.
Here's John Hicks. Base hit away from tying it up. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Oh for 3. Hicks, a double play, pop up, and a strikeout. Bouncer back up the middle, flagged by the pitcher, and Hicks is out. Runners will hold, 1 gone. He thought about going to third for Cabrera, but got the out.
Hicks hit it hard. That ball might have snuck right back up the middle.
I think you're right.
As hard as it was hit.
1 away. Here is McCann. James 0 for 3, strikeout, flyout, and a ground out. Line drive, base hit left field. Cabrera scores. They're going to hold the runner at third. Castellanos stops there, and it's 5-4.
It's another fastball. It's a two-seam fastball that tailed inside to James McCann. He simply was able to get out there, and he turns on this bad boy.
Tying run at third base now. The go-ahead run at first. Jacoby Jones coming up. McCann gets RBI 43. Still only 1 out. Walk, single, double, ground out, single.
Big spot for the kid, Jacoby.
Popped him up. Right side of the infield. It's going to be Goins, and there are 2 outs. It's going to bring up Romine. Tying run still at third. Green, Wilson in the Tigers pen. Andrew is 0 for 3 in this game. Tigers need a 2-out hit. Romine takes ball 1. Again, 95 from Tepera.
And Tepera is finding out how difficult it is to get those last 3 outs in a game. He's had no problem getting those outs in the 7th and the 8th, but these in the 9th, they're different.
Now the 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1 on Romine. 96 from Tepera. Popped up foul. It's a head back into the seats and out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Andrew Romine. RBI double by Nick. RBI single by McCann. Getting the Tigers to within 1. First and third, 2 outs. And here comes the crowd. Romine trying to keep it going. Ball high, 2-2. So Tepera now 21 pitches here in the ninth. Foul back out of play, staying alive. Nothing but gas here from Tepera.
Yeah, and most of his fastballs have been 95 and above. He's got a little late life on his mid-90s fastball. It's not a straight fastball. He's thrown a total of 22 pitches, and 14 of those have been at least 95 miles an hour.
Slicing down the left field line and foul. Two and two, the count stays. On Romine, it all started with a walk by Candelario, a single by Miggy. Nick doubled in a run. McCann later singled in a run. Big crowd watching an entertaining game today here at Rogers Center. Ball three high.
It's been a really good at-bat by Andrew Romine, who has had a really good day. He's made a couple of dazzling plays on the defensive end, and now he can come up huge with a big knock to tie the score. Romine has seen a bunch of those mid-90s fastballs. If he gets another one over the heart of the plate, I have confidence that he's going to at least put it in play.
Here's the 3-2. He got him, strike three, caught him looking to end the game.
He threw him a 3-2 slider.
How about that?
Ooh, just got tipped your hat on that one, Mark.
You got that right, partner. There's your final score, 5-4. Now we send you to the Coliseum Studios. John Keating, Tigers live postgame.